Patty Jansen lives in Sydney. She's our second Australian writer winner this year. In school, she started writing planetary romances, but her teachers insisted that science fiction was not proper literature. Compulsory reading lists soured her on fiction for 20 years, and a full-time job as an agricultural scientist put a stop to her writing altogether. The death of her father finally jolted her into doing what she wanted to do. Her first prose sale to the Universe Annex of Eric Flint's Grantville Gazette magazine came 2 weeks before winning the Writers of the Future contest for her visceral story, This Peaceful State of War, in which missionaries on a hellish planet try to impose peace between alien races, even if it means destroying the world's life cycle. Please congratulate Patty Jansen.
Well, thanks to Eric, of course, because he happens to be paired with me, but he also happened to publish my first story, and I really appreciate that. That is sometimes a new writer really needs a boost, and he provided that at the right moment in time. I would also like to thank everyone at the contest, everyone at Author Services, especially Joni, who has really worked very hard to make this such an enjoyable week for all of us. I would like to thank especially the people in my writing groups that I've been part of for the past 8 years almost. And in December 2004, I made perhaps a very strange decision. I didn't know anyone who wrote, so I decided I needed to be with other writers. Well, in Australia, that's a bit hard. So I joined this group called the Online Writers Workshop for Fantasy, Science Fiction, and Horror. And one of the first people I met there is sitting over there in the audience, Stelios. The other person also of the workshop, Marlene, has just come for me from San Francisco. Well, I would thank you very much, and everyone else in that particular workshop that I was a member of for 4 years before moving on. I would also like to thank the people of Andromeda Spaceways in-Flight magazine, where I am a slush reader and editor, to teach me about the other side of the business of writing, because submitting and being rejected and submitting and being rejected is just one part, but you don't really understand what happens to the other side of the process unless you're actually in it. And you find out that no, those authors, those editors don't really hate you at all. Because after a while, after you've had about 100 rejections, that's what you start to think. Last but not least, I would really like to thank my family, and especially my husband, because he's never ever stopped me writing. He has never ever, although he doesn't really read anything that remotely approaches fiction, he likes reading financial things, which comes in very handy. But everyone in my family, and especially him, thank you very much for putting up with this really weird hobby of mine that at the moment might look like it might actually turn serious. Last but not least, I want to say a few words for aspiring writers, because as editor of the magazine, I sometimes get these people and they tell me, I meet them at cons and they say, you rejected my story. And I don't know, we slush blind like the contest does. I don't know who they are. I don't know if I rejected their story or someone else. No one hates you. But it does feel at times as if you anything, any kind of success is impossible. And it isn't. It really isn't. And a lot of things are possible. For example, time travel. On Sunday, the 8th of May, Ben, who's sitting there, and I took the plane from Sydney at 10 a.m. Sunday morning. At 6 a.m. Sunday morning, the 8th of May, we arrived in Los Angeles, having lost 4 hours. Time travel is entirely possible, and so a career in writing is possible. Thank you very much.
Oh, man. What a great bunch of people, huh? Oh, Scott Frederick Hargrave grew up in Puerto Rico, surrounded by ancient Spanish cathedrals, the Arecibo radio telescope, mountain rainforests, underground caverns, and soulful Latin African salsa rhythms. Oh, yes. No wonder he was inspired to become an artist. Scott's career endeavors include screenwriting, directing low-budget films, and creating his own graphic novel, for which his bold ink style is well suited, as is shown in his illustration for This Peaceful State of War. Please congratulate Scott Frederick Hargrave.
Well, they told me if I was nervous, just breathe. And I wish I could breathe in a fraction of the talent and genius and creativity in this room tonight. And it's just amazing to be here. It's been an amazing week. Just seeing new horizons, being shown things that I couldn't even believe, people do art-wise and writing-wise. So it's amazing to be here. First in a room full of such creativity, I need to thank the God of the universe, of creation and creativity. I think we're most human when we create, and that's what we're all here trying to do. I need to thank my family, my mom and dad, who gave me a lifetime of encouragement and love, saying, go chase your dreams, and that's what I'm trying to do. My brothers, Greg and Mike, Eve and Robin, I love you all, and you're an inspiration to me. Everyone that made this contest possible, beginning with L. Ron Hubbard, the idea of a great man paying it forward, like so many have said, giving so much to inspire future generations. That's just amazing. So, big thanks to L. Ron Hubbard, Joni Labaki, who I can't imagine how much energy and dedication she puts into this, but she keeps us all going, and it's just wonderful that everybody in this contest gives so much of themselves to people who they don't know, just in the name of creativity. The artist workshops were just stunning. They opened my eyes, and I guess that's what any artist needs, is open your eyes and see the possibilities. And that's what they give us. Ron and Val Linden, Stephen Hickman, Cliff Nielsen, Vincent DeFate. It's just seeing those slideshows is like looking into a portal in another universe. Just their creativity inspires us all. I'd like to thank Patty Jansen, who wrote the amazing story that gave me a chance to do something, elevated my art, just by the power of her story. I know every illustrator probably feels the same way about their writer. It's just he gave us a chance to shine. I'd like to thank all the other winners in the workshops, in the Illustrators workshop especially. You guys are inspirations too. I mean, when I see how good you are, and to walk into a room full with your art on the easels, and mine's up there too. And it's like, it's amazing to be considered among people as young and talented and going someplace as you guys are going to be. I know you are going to have huge futures and be huge illustrators and writers of the future. So it's amazing to be here, and thank you all.